Well, we're upstairs in Delia and I's upper part of our shop, and this is the drying rack we made, and then we have our fan, which we'll get that going here when we do our onions. But I'll show you how we do them for drying. And basically you just make a nice line. I'm not inventing anything that no one else hasn't done, but let's just take our onions out of our boxes, and we're going to kind of do a tier stepping, always having the onions in a straight row, and we'll start just letting them kind of sit on top of the greens. And we want them to dry out, of course. But yeah, we built this several years ago, and we've sold a lot of reds in the, with the farmer's market. We sell a lot early, so we don't have as many reds left because we've been selling them, but they still do need to be sold. And then I need to make sure, see, I have a lot of whites, so even though I got a lot of yellow onions to come, so you still want to treat it as if you have a million. If you're short of space, you have a million of them. And I have 3 racks up here. I currently have some garlic, which we're going to take down, and we're going to get that in the cool room here, because that is dried out, or drying. It's in good shape. So we'll get that down. But right now, we'll get these onions spread out, and we'll just work on this one bay right now, so the reds halfway stay together. Delia's got another load. So Delia, you want to kind of work off of this side. We'll just keep setting them right on top of the green, like that. And yep, that's it. And we'll just kind of work off of this side to kind of keep them halfway organized. And then we'll get our fan on. Once we get done filming here, we'll want to turn our fan on. There's some small little, and those are pearl onions. That's the word I was looking for. I've heard them called cocktail onion as well, but pearl onion, cocktail onion.
Oh, I know. I've never had a drink with an onion in it.
You've never had a drink with an onion? No. Not even in your wild, younger
No.
college days?
No, I couldn't afford a drink with an onion in it.
You couldn't afford a drink in your college days. Yeah. Well, girls never bought drinks anyway, so I don't know where that's coming from. That's not how this world works, last I knew. A stunned silence is from the crowd.
Where you hung out.
Where I hung out at. Okay, moving on with the white onions. Look at how much difference in size these guys are. It'll take I don't know if it's going to take the full rack or not.
Might
There is a lot more down there. Last time I was able to bring them up pretty well. Yeah. All right, let's go here. They look pretty. We don't have enough to fill the whole thing up right now because, like I said, we are selling these too. And Delia, I'll probably have to help you out because I'm full here, so you'll have to we'll continue it on maybe with yellows if we have to. Yeah. You have more over there?
That's it.
That's it, okay. So we'll finish them with yellows if we need the space. So there's our white. Nice big old, that's called Superstar. And then this is red candy right there. We're gonna hook up the big fan. Yeah, she'll pull that, she'll pull that wood out. Or that, yeah, the wood on the bottom to aim it upwards. And a little bit more.
You're missing a leg too.
No, it's the wheel.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's the wheel, yeah. Actually, go ahead and, yeah, there. Yeah. All right, well, we'll move it and let's go ahead and plug it in. So there's the big fan. And it's also pulling it, pushing air up there. So we're gonna get a good fast dry out of it. That's kind of our drying program, and it's time for our yellow onions now. Look at the size of some of these. I mean, they all don't look like that, but they are some big onions. They are big onions. Let's go ahead and get them on there. We'll put them on the lower deck. Nice big onions. Very well pleased with how they're going. You okay? Okay. That's a big load, ain't it? Yeah. Well, it gets warm out, don't it?
Yep. It's hotter up here, so.
It's hotter up here, yep, that's right.
There's one sitting next to another onion that looks like a golf club.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm up here and near our drying rack, and we have our red onions, white onions, a little bit of our smaller yellow, and the bottom rack is 100% full of yellow onions. They, you know, I will say that it's our very best harvest in the terms of size and quality. Now they're going to remain on this rack for about 5 to 7 days, in which time in 5 to 7 days I'll come back in here and we'll take them out of here, and we're going to go ahead and cut the top off. What you want to do is leave yourself about 1 inch on here. Go ahead and cut your roots off, brush them off if you want, and then when you go to store them with the green top, it'll still be green, but go ahead and stack them in a cool, well-ventilated area with this kind of angling down, just like I'm showing you right there. It'll look similar to what we have here. And you don't want to store them with potatoes or apples and that type of thing. You want to go ahead and but you do want to have them in a cool, well-ventilated area. A small AC unit or a fan in an air-conditioned area. Something like that to help to finish the curing process. And they'll keep for you. You know, different varieties keep longer than others. You know, some of them will keep 7, 8 months. Some of them not so long. But that's kind of what we're going to do right now. We are letting the energy of the leaves go ahead and dry out, go into the bulb, finish the curing process, and we're going to have this fan on right here on my low setting, and we have a fan on that side. So I also have some more out in the field, but they're not quite Oh, I could have brought them in, but they were still kind of standing upright. So in a few days, I'll fill up this top rack with the same thing. But 5 to 7 days, then trim off the leaves, the roots, and more importantly, store them single file on a shelf and let them finish curing till they're nice and dry. Get those paper skins established. You don't want to wash them. When you go to wash, the only thing you might do is brush them in case you don't want to bring in any dirt. But for long-term storage, don't wash them. Just let them go ahead and stay dry. And you're going to peel that outer layer off anyway when you go to cook it. At least we certainly do. But anyways, I'm glad to have you guys along. If you like these types of videos, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. Come grow with us. Good morning, gardeners. Well, taking a look here at our onions that we have drying, and this is day 6, and I think we can go ahead here. And they're not totally dry yet. I mean, an extra day would not hurt them. We've been kind of high humidity is what we have. We've been high humidity. So it's not quite as fast of drying as you like, but they are looking good, and they're getting that paper shell on them, so that's good. See how the onion skin is wanting to kind of slough off there, so that's good, and that's good. Yeah, I think several of these we can go ahead and start getting them downstairs and start cutting them off, and we'll go ahead and we got to get them in a cool area, and we'll do that and start letting them finish their curing process. So very good. All right, well, we'll get on to the next phase. Okay, so we're back at the onions, and we're getting ready, and we're ready for curing. The next thing is to go ahead and we trim off those root hairs without damaging or getting into the onion, and I pinch off, I don't know, right at the top of that outer sleeve there, and cut that off. So that's and if you want, you can go ahead here and brush that off so you don't have as much dirt to deal with. But these are in pretty good shape here. They dry. They're probably, most of the dust is upstairs on the rack. But this is, we're gonna go ahead and do a bucket full of these that are ready to go to their final curing spot. Let me get on that, and we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and keep on going there. I have a bad knee right now. I got a cortisol shot yesterday, or 2 days ago. So you'll see me gimping around, and I do whatever I can do to sit down to give my knee a break, and it's kind of bad luck timing on that level that I've had to deal with that. But no, that's just about right. Don't worry, it's still going to be a little green on the inside of the onion, so that's totally normal at this stage. And one thing I like to do is kind of like trim upward. You know, just cut, if you look, trim upward when you go to trim. That way we're not worrying about cutting into our onion. There we go. Boy, these are drying so nice. And these red onions were just absolutely perfect this year. Now, let me grab a white onion. Because I brought a bucket of whites down as well. But these here just need to finish hardening off. I'll show you. Let me show you the white onion. Now, I've had a little bit more problems storing the big whites compared to the reds. Red seemed to store a little bit better for me, but same thing. Let's go ahead and cut up above that little spot right there. You don't need a lot. And you could cut it a little shorter if you want, like right there. And and you'll see how it's still green on the inside. I'm going to show you how we're going to finish doing this, because I think this here shows it a little bit better regarding that side there. We'll do one more white onion, same scenario. Kind of cut upwards here. It makes that way you don't cut into the onion. And right there, let's cut that off, and then that way that'll be done. So anyway, that's where we're at, and we'll keep going here.
It'll show up. I don't know what it is.
She's referring to a trimmers of mine, but that's all right. We'll get it. So about like that. And the roots in that, I think they're in pretty good shape. I don't think they need to be brushed. I think they're looking, like I said, you got some excess skin or whatever, you go ahead and trim that off, and then we'll carry these in. They dried up pretty nice, didn't they, Delia?
They look good, yeah.
Yeah.
They do look very good.
We just got one more phase. Now, I'll tell you something you don't want to do in the curing process is we want a well-ventilated dark area, but we also don't want to have them around potatoes. Now, in our case, we don't dig them that fast, so I don't really have a lot of excess potatoes in storage at that time. But the recommendation is that you don't store your onions, cure your onions with potatoes. I think they probably don't want to cure proper, and so that's what I understand it to be. It's been recommended, so I don't do it. No reason to do something if someone else already has experience.
We're going to lay the onions on the bottom rack, and they do have these little slots. I think that will kind of, well, they want to.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
This way. And I'm just gonna pile them all in there. Maybe for the big ones, I'll have to go every other one. That one doesn't want to.
That's all right. We'll get it.
He wants to twirl over.
It'll help when you have other onions to balance them.
Beside them, yep.
Yeah.
They're not cooperating. Yeah, because the back doesn't have anything, so they want to just roll.
They want to roll? Yeah.
They want to roll.
Yeah. Well, you'll get it. Just repeat 2,000 more times, right?
That's right.
That's right. All right. Well, we'll keep going here, but yeah, we'll get back to you. That's yep, that's the game plan there, is have them. Now, we're doing this in a little storage area. We have a sink in here and a shower and stuff like that we don't really use for that purpose too much, but we're going to put up a curtain up here. We're going to darken the room up, but you do want airflow. So if you need to go ahead and keep the fan on, that'd be a good thing. And push them, or make sure they got air moving through them. But that's working out nice. Now this is a Craftsman shelving unit, I think.
Yep.
So that's what that one is a Craftsman shelving unit. Now you don't need that. You could actually put them right on a plywood shelf or whatever. They are, anywhere that you can get some air moving, and you can keep them cool, and store the onions. Store the onions where you get some air movement and that type of thing. So we got a lot of onions to go through yet, so we'll get back to you there, because this will be this is the important stage 2 of our process. So this will keep our onions going for up to 7 months, and hopefully we get them all sold. But nonetheless, that's the game plan. This is our game plan here, to get our onions to where they'll keep and they don't go bad on us. So this is just, and Delia is the right size for me to help me with my bad knee right now, that she can get down there on the floor and keep that. But yeah, keep it nice and cool. Have some air moving through here, and position that the stem in a downward type of a trajectory, a 45 degrees down. If you're setting it on plywood or on a shelf, that works fine just as well. Just main thing is you just don't want the stem sitting upward. That's the main thing. So this is our second phase of curing onions. All right, so now we have all the onions, more or less. I got some small ones kind of piled up doubled up there, but we have the reds, whites there, and yellows are maintaining most of the space. On my top shelf, as we get these guys off, these guys are single file up here, up in those trays there to make to do that. But these guys are all facing in a downward angle or straight up and down, depending on how they are. And they're going to finish curing in here. And Delia and I have one more batch. We do have the fan going in here to stir some air. And Delia's kind of sorting through some tomatoes right now and getting those in boxes and stuff like that. But yeah, this is what you want. Is in this, you notice I have an AC unit right up here, keeping this area nice and cool. We put in our I don't want to call it a blackout curtain, but it's more or less what it is. Is it? It is a blackout. All right. So now we'll keep it nice and dark. It'll have some air moving in here. We'll have the fans going. This is the second phase of curing your onions. And it's okay that they're a little green still. That's okay. This is just, that's good timing, to be honest with you. You don't want to get it to a point where you're so far behind that you're not getting it drained properly in these. So now this is your final phase. Once these guys are all the way cured up, well, we can go ahead and we can pile them into our crates and stuff like that. Still want to keep them in a cool, dark area, but Delia and I sell onions pretty fast, don't we? I mean, yeah. Providing everything's good. How many onions do you think we threw away altogether today? About 7, 8?
At most.
At most. Out of everything we got, 7 or 8 of them didn't cut it out of what was on our drying rack up there. So now we got to go out in the field. We're going to finish pulling everything. We'll bring it in. We'll put that on that drying rack. Hopefully in another 7 days, we'll come in here. These guys will be finished, cured out enough to where we can pull, and we'll be selling stuff as well. But believe me, that one rack of us in sales is not a big deal for us. So the good news is I think we'll have the racks emptying out very quickly, and that's all we can ask for. So I think it's working out nice. We have a good drying rack. It's amazing how with sales it shrinks down quickly, don't it? I mean, we had them 2 big racks done, and that's all the reds that are left down there. So we sold a bunch.
Yeah, reds go quickly.
Yeah, reds go quickly. So I guess, and yellows do too. Yellows go quickly. So that's, but we've never done that well with the reds. But if this is the case, that we can cure and save our reds as good as what it looks like we're going to do, well, we can double our reds again. So that's where we're at. Glad to have you guys along, and do us a favor. If you like these types of videos, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Come grow with us.